Oh, there we are. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Hello, Maciej.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Fine.
That's
Pretty
good.
much fine. Not really. No. It's an English question. You shouldn't ask Polish people if you don't want to hear the answer. Now I recalled the idea. Have you heard it?
No. Enlighten
It's
me.
there's a name for that. I don't remember what is it. So how are you doing?
Yeah.
Is a question that in English you don't really expect an answer other than I'm fine.
True. Well, you could be. Well, today is Blue Monday, so you could say that you're depressed.
Who decided it's Blue Monday?
It's national. It's International Blue Monday Day. Here, let me see. Blue Monday. It's supposed to be. I mean, like, I woke up today and my girlfriend was like, "Yeah, it's Blue Monday. Are you ready to be depressed?" I'm like, "What the hell is Blue Monday, dude?" Like,
I heard about it at work today, and I was like, "Blue Monday? What the fuck is it?"
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude.
I googled it quickly and was like, some company decided that something. Like, what?
Yeah. Okay. So the definition of Blue Monday is a Monday that is depressing or trying. Especially, no, that can't be right. That's a weird definition. Hold on, from the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, what does it say? Or what if, you know what? I'm just gonna type in what is Blue Monday, because apparently it's like the most depressing day of the year or something like that.
Apparently, it's Martin Luther King's Day in the U.S.
Oh, really?
Hello,
Okay.
Lady Dudette 33.
Hello. Yeah, we also have we're also live on YouTube and Twitch and Steam.
Oh.
So we have Mosquito, Shema, hello.
So there are more chats to follow.
More chats. Ruskid, hello. How you doing, my man? And we also have Unwell Gaming. I am channeling Garfield the cat when it comes to Mondays. You mean channeling?
Yeah. There is a comic about Garfield who has it for Mondays and
That's God. That is.
Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh my God! I mean, Garfield has changed over the years. Like,
man, I can't even tell you the last time I watched Garfield. It was years ago.
Yeah, but there are some fun creations, like some weird ones. Like Garfield Without Garfield is a classic.
Yeah.
It's basically a really depressing and weird comic about John talking to himself.
Oh, jeez.
It's like Garfield comic strips, except Garfield has been, photoshopped out.
Okay.
Because keep in mind, like, Garfield doesn't talk, he thinks. So John is talking to himself, kinda.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Man, the comic is creepy. And
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But I did look up I wikied it, the Blue Monday, and it said a Blue Monday is the name given to a day in January, typically the third Monday of the month. That's probably because when people start to come back from like holiday breaks and stuff. It's said by UK travel company Sky Travel to be the most depressing day of the year. I mean, to be honest, I don't feel depressed. You feel depressed?
Yeah, I didn't notice as well. Like,
I mean, I feel freaking fantastic, dude. I mean, Monday is just another day to get better at the things that you do. It's another day, right? You come off the weekend, and I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a mentality change, okay? Don't think of Monday as a bad day. Think of Monday as the day of opportunity. All right. Monday is the day of opportunity. All right. And I did also see that it was Betty White's 100th birthday. Rest in peace, Betty White. Do you know who Betty White is, Maciej?
No, I don't.
She was a comedic mogul over like the last, like, I don't know, many years. And she died recently, about a week ago. She was 99. And she died like about 2 weeks before her 100th birthday. So,
I see.
So yeah, Betty White, Martin Luther King Day. Jesus, there's a lot of stuff happening on this Monday.
I googled Betty White, and Google's like, has showered me with rose petals.
What?
Thank you for
Really?
being a friend. What? No.
Really?
Yeah.
It showered you. Oh, it did. Oh my God. Guys, type in Betty White on Google right now.
Because
Holy
it's her
shit.
birthday. Oh, I see.
Oh,
So,
it's her
thank you for being a friend. Ah.
Dude, no way. No way. Hold on. Let me see this. Hold on. Look
Is
at
it
this.
every time or just once?
I think it's every time. Hold on.
every time.
Oh God, I have nothing set up here on this scene. I should probably do that
Does
in
it
a
work
minute.
for more people if you Google them on their birthday?
I don't know.
I mean, it's generic enough. It could fit with like many people.
Hold on. Whose birthday is it today? Let me see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Famous
But
people.
God, but dude, that's awesome. Betty White, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, check her out, Maciej. She's fantastic. Yeah, she really she was a good actor and like comedian and she was really good. So,
Okay.
guys,
Michelle Obama also 17th of January.
oh, it's Michelle Obama's birthday as well.
No flowers from Google.
No flowers. I wonder why. Maybe because she's still alive. I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. So, guys, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hope you guys had a great weekend. As you guys can see, I'm joined by my friend and colleague here, Maciej Litwin, who is a senior game designer, and he is here to answer all of your questions, literally, about life. I mean, do you need life advice? You know, he is also a part-time therapist. So, no, I'm just kidding. Do you want to be a therapist?
Well,
He is here to listen to your problems about train life, and he's just gonna take it. He's just gonna take the issues on the chest and try to make them better. Okay, so
I am somewhat more knowledgeable about the game than before. When I was last time here, like October or
yeah, see,
September?
Maciej was with us. Probably you were with me one of the first streams that I did. I think I did one stream. The first stream I did was with Joey, and then I think after that you joined me. So it might have been like September. I don't know.
Yes, Joey was the first. Yes,
Yeah.
I wasn't. Joey was the first, and then I think I was either second, and there was like one in between.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah, and that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. So
Okay, also, like, what should I check Betty White in? Like, should I just check her out, like her photos? And be
well,
like,
she was she was Betty White was a really cool character in the Golden Girls. It was a really old show. Let me see. I think it's called Golden Girls, right? Yeah, The Golden Girls. And it was just some older women, right? And they were you know, doing these funny antics and doing these funny things.
Okay, that's I know the photo of Golden Girls, like the cover photo with the poster.
Yeah.
Because someone recently has posted that the characters in the Golden Girls are the same age that characters in Sex and the City.
Wow.
Right now, comparing the posters and being like, our standards of what's expected of a woman in her 50s and 60s is way different.
Yeah. Joey called me. Thank you. I know he did. He told me. I told him. I was like, you know, you gotta call your mom, Joey, because your mom's on the stream every day, our #1 fan, and you need to talk to your mom, Joey. So, I'm glad that he did. I'm glad that he did. So. Yes. When can we ask questions? Yorkshire Sim Game. You can ask them right now. Go for it, dude. If you have a question, do it. We are here to serve you guys, our awesome, fantabulous, fantastic community. You guys are what makes the wheels go round in train life, or not go round, or crash, or I don't know, do bugs and stuff, and then we fix them. So yeah, if you guys have questions, ask away. We will try to the best of our ability to answer them for you. And Maciej, like he mentioned, he has more experience with the game because Maciej, if I remember correctly, you're at Simterect for how long? Only a few months, right?
Since the 1st of September.
1st of September. So me and you, we're pretty new in the company.
Yeah, 4 months, like 4.5.
Yeah.
It's starting to become a decent amount of months, but it's not like still kind of new, but not really.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
This is true.
And that's the true thing.
This is true.
All right, so we have a question from YouTube, Yorkshire Sim Game. So it's a fantastic game. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you. I don't know, in sign language, that means thank you. I don't know sign language. That's the only thing I know. But thank you, Yorkshire. And I just want to say thank you to the full team. What I want to know is, will UK locomotives be implemented in the future? Maciej, do you know anything about that?
First of all, as far as I know, like we don't have licenses for locomotives, except some exceptions, like ice trains in Germany. So other than that, we have locomotives based on real life locomotives. And I'm not sure. I don't know what exact locomotives are planned. I know some are planned. This might be in the roadmap. So for sure, some locomotives will come. They will be based on real life locomotives, not exactly the same names and such. Whether it will be UK locomotives, I don't know.
All right. We'll just have to wait and find out now, shall we? But Yorkshire, I'll write your question down. I'll actually just copy your question. I'll write it down in my little notepad here, my handy dandy notepad, just so I don't forget, and I will ask further down the hierarchy of our development team. Let's see.
I'm following the chats. I have the YouTube chat open and the Twitch chat open as well.
Amazing.
Unwell Gaming. When can I travel as a passenger? I want to relax and see the map from a passenger's point of view. Hey, actually, I mean, this doesn't sound that difficult to implement.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really.
Maybe
it doesn't. Maybe it could be like an option that you could select, right?
Yeah, it sounds like okay. For sure, not in a foreseeable future,
right?
Sadly, because we are. Like update 2 has like took some work, but update 3, oh man, we're gonna be
slammed.
Yeah, we're gonna be. It's gonna be rough. However, like I hope it's gonna because we want to implement some crucial systems in the update. So like we probably like every hour of programmers' work will be valuable. So no little features, I'm afraid. In the next month, we have a plan already. After that, I have no idea, but traveling as a passenger...
Yeah, it could be like a little fun thing to do. Maybe we'll have it in the future.
We'll see. Although it would be like... I mean, driving trains isn't exactly the hardest thing to do in terms of like excitement. The game is pretty casual already. So, oh my god, it might you want it to be even more casual?
God, are you guys trying to be filthy casuals? Is that the direction we're going here? Like, is that what's happening? But no. When is the map of Poland? Update 2. You could check the map and our update, our roadmap per se, on the official Train Life Twitter, twitter.com/TrainLifeGame. You could also follow Simteract on Train Life, and over there, here's a Train Life Twitter. So for those of you that might be interested, you can go ahead and follow that. And if you scroll down a little bit, we do have an update of the roadmap. For update 2, we have the Lechner-Koch DP 2500, new regions, Eastern Europe, Poland, and Czechia, with an extreme cargo scenario set. A signal visual update, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be happy to experience, as well as the service center overhaul and bug fixing. Now, I know that we have some new people in the chat, so I wanted to reiterate. We did post a development blog, a dev blog post on the Steam, and we shared some sneak peeks of what's to come, such as the new service center gameplay. Now, I will say this once, or I said it once and I will say it many times again. Take it with like the biggest grain of salt that you could find. Like, go to a salt mine and like mine a grain of the biggest rock of salt and just take it with it, because everything is subject to change, right? We're trying to be transparent with you guys, trying to show you guys like what's to come, what situation we're at, which step in development and stuff like that. And going back a little bit, I know this was also a highly requested thing, but there was some word about a Trello, that we were going to make a public Trello, and I can tell you guys that it's in the works. It's in the works, and we will let you know when it will be updated and added, so that you guys can follow along with us as well. So public Trello on the way. Dev blog sneak peeks, there it is. It's on Steam. If I can find it, I'll send it to you guys in the chat. And it looks like we had a few more questions from Eric Beltrame from YouTube. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, sir. A very good game. I already have spent more than 400 hours. Holy guacamole. I think that's second place. I think that's second place because we have Easy Rider in the chat that has over 600. 600 big ones. Can you believe that?
That doesn't sound easy. Easy Rider. It's a hard rider.
It's a hard rider, yeah, for sure. Unwell Games also asking, a multiplayer? No. VR?
No.
Maybe. We'll see. Like a big maybe, like a maybe with a huge maybe, but
I guess like it's within the realm of possibility, maybe, and multiplayer isn't. So
multiplayer. I mean, can you imagine the amount of work that we would have to do to add multiplayer into Train Life? I mean, it's a entire like reconstruction of the game, basically. I mean, did you work on multiplayer systems before in the past, or?
A bit, yeah.
You did?
I don't think.
How does the process look like? Like, do you have any insight on that you could share, maybe? Or
some, yeah. I haven't worked on a game like the biggest game I have worked on, which had like an active multiplayer, like didn't get finished. So.
Oh, okay.
There's that, but I know some of the issues. So like, network code is one of the hardest things to write, as far as I know, in programming. And people who know how to write network code they're rare, and often like I believe it's often the case that you hire them not really to do coding, but just to consult with other coders on how to do the system.
Right.
So like it's hard. I guess if possible, you always want to use someone else's working network code rather than write your own.
Okay.
I'm not sure. It might have changed over the years. So it's hard. Why is it hard? I mean, for active games especially, like it's easier to do a game that's asynchronous, like turn-based, whatever, where you can wait for input. But in a game of Train Life, let's say 2 players drive trains and they can see each other, and one player starts to slow down. Like in our game, it matters. Like up to maybe I'm not sure what's collision detection in Unreal, like what's the precision, but I know centimeters. 10 centimeters plus, more or less. So the precision of that, and like you have to detect when the player slows down. When does he slow down? When does he changes his throttle and brakes? And if there's a little bit of lag, it can mess up the whole system.
Yeah.
So you do things like interpolation. So you download like some of the data, some of the inputs from the player, and then you interpolate in between. So like if he moves the character, you don't ask for every nanosecond of where is the character. It's like this second he's here and this second he's here. So in between he probably is moving more or less like this. So you do things like this. You have to take care of synchronization, of lag, of precision. And in shooter games especially, like if you shoot the guy, it has to be very precise as to where his head was at this moment. And you just cannot send so much data so quickly, so reliably to do that. So
that sounds like super complicated. And the people, like you said, it's probably rare to find a person that is that like a separate, like I don't know, skill to have, like network coding? Like is that something?
It's a specialization for sure. Like so you can have coders, but some specialize like in graphics, for example, or some
Right.
do visual effects or audio. There are specializations, and network code for sure is one of specializations.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yes.
that's the long answer. The short answer is no.
Yeah, although that being said, like with Train Life, I mean, what do you mean multiplayer in Train Life?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys were able to envision a multiplayer mode in Train Life, how would that look like for you? Like, hypothetically speaking, right? Like,
I would have some ideas, but I think so. It'd be interesting to see what chat comes up with, but I would have some ideas on gameplay because like having two trains be like see each other in the game might not be so important in Train Life.
Right.
More so in games like Euro Truck Simulator.
Right.
Where you can drive with the other truck like for minutes, hours, and so on. But with trains, you will be most likely just passing each other.
Right. Unless we implement train drag racing, which you know, you can
being able to drive on two tracks just to maximize the damage. Although okay, but we have like we do allow in our game to change tracks, which you're not able to do in real life, but we have it.
True.
So in multiplayer, you would be able to do a collision.
Yeah.
Because you're not forced to stick to your side of a track, whichever it is, depending on the country.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think you can see the issues. I don't know. I guess implementing working network code sounds like 2 months at least.
Minimum. And then like
roughly.
QA testing another 2 months.
Shit ton of QA testing.
Shit ton of QA testing. So, going on, Yorkshire Sim Gamer says, another thing I've noticed playing the game is once I've accepted a job contract, I set a route. I have to keep checking the progress and the map. Any plans for a miles to destination HUD? I mean, that sounds like a pretty good idea. I mean, would that be difficult to implement? I mean, it's because
doesn't sound like it. Yeah.
Because I mean, like, we have the amount of kilometers. Like when you press tab, right? It shows you the amount of kilometers you have left. I'm pretty sure, or like it shows you the amount of kilometers or miles or however you're playing that you have to your destination. So I think like maybe adding, because we did add the little notifications for the trains that are incoming, right, to show you how many meters away they are. So I mean, maybe something like that, but with the kilometers. I mean, that's probably sounds like a simple addition that could improve the player experience.
But is it? But I believe it's the main issue is it being on the HUD. Not it being kilometers or miles, whatever.
Right. In the HUD.
Being on the HUD.
Yeah.
And maybe it could. Eurotruck does it. Eurotruck has like distance to the destination, but more importantly, it has like time.
Yes.
Estimated towards the destination.
Yes.
Although it displays in-game time, but still.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds easy, and like it's one of those things. Like, why did we overlook it? I mean, I know why. We were working on like other system that seems so much important from a design perspective, but
I mean, like little like vanity cosmetic sort of easy of life, or like what's that word, quality of life type of things. I think we will just trickle them in like as time goes on.
Quality of life is it's something like from a design perspective, you would like to get all the most important systems first, balance them out, and then do quality of life in the end when you have all the systems ready and you can finalize the HUD. Right. However, with an early access game, like it's a different thing. So if this indeed will be easy, we'll see about implementing it. Are you writing this down, Mike?
Yes, I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. Right. So we're gonna be like adding a distance.
I mean, no promises because coders will have to estimate it.
No promises. Coders are gonna be like, you know what? No, because we got other things to do.
They'll be like update free. Like you want to improve station gameplay, or
you want to add a distance counter. Like you got to pick. Okay.
And it'd be like okay, sure. Update 4. Yeah. You can have, like, this might be the case, sadly, but
so like things will just get trickled in over time. We're not saying yes, we're not saying no, but we agree that it's a good quality of life thing that we could possibly add into the game, and it's a good idea. So thank you. going on here, moving on. Will you add camera at the end of the train? Sometimes it may help to reverse with a long train. This is something that is highly requested. Yes. And it makes total sense. It makes total sense. Mosquito, you're not the only one to ask of this. Because when you're pulling like, I don't know, 6, 8, 10, 12 wagons or whatever, it is at this time pretty difficult to see when you have to like reverse or something what's behind you, right? Because you have just so many wagons. So another quality of life thing that we will possibly add, don't know when, but follow us on social media, Discord, Twitter, bada boom, bada bang, and you'll stay in the loop. So thank you for that feedback. Will the map of France be enlarged? So do you mean like the map that you open in like in the dashboard so that you could see more of it, or are you asking about like more stations to be added? So
and do you mean like increasing the scale so that smaller stations can appear as well, or do you mean just I think that we just have a part of France, we don't have northwest, I believe. Same from Poland, by the way. If like we have basically a half of Poland, maybe 2/3. I mean, also major cities, but
are we gonna have Rzeszów?
I think we do.
We are gonna have Rzeszów? Oh hell yeah!
I don't remember, but I don't know. We have Poznań for sure.
Yeah.
Szczecin for sure. Wrocław 100%. Those 3 I'm sure we have.
Yeah, but those are like big cities. Those are like pretty popular cities.
Yeah, and Rzeszów. No, I don't think so.
Rzeszów is not that popular.
It's still kind of big, right?
I mean, yeah, there's like
it's in the top
150,000 people.
Okay, yeah, so it's in the top 20 of Poland, so
yeah.
Like I would consider it big enough, but not for a game, I'm afraid. Yeah, just the scale we picked, and
yeah. Please add animation of employee trains. What do you mean by that? An animation? Oh, so you mean like so you could see your employees on the tracks, like
on the map,
guess. Or on the map. I mean, this was also something that people have been asking about, but I don't think we're gonna be doing anything with that anytime soon.
Yeah, it's one of those nice to have, but the cost to benefits ratio is such that. I mean, station gameplay, which we're gonna do for update 3, is such a huge overhaul and improvement that, I mean, I guess we're kind of everything after update 3 is kind of hazy for us.
Yeah.
Just get station gameplay done because it's so important. So in the future, maybe, but I don't know what the future will hold.
Yeah, the future in game development is always uncertain because there's always roads and bumps and road maps in our way. So if you guys want to follow along or see physically see with your eyeballs what we're talking about, you can check out the game dev blog that was written by the one, the only Joey, and our lead game designer, right? Lead, yes. Yes. He got mad because I called him senior. You know, he got mad about that. But by our lead game designer, and he wrote it very well, and it gives a lot of information that you guys might not have known. Speaking about informations and stuff like that, we also have an FAQ. Oh, there goes the Discord. Sorry about that. I'll just go back. We also have an FAQ on our Discord channel with some frequently asked questions about the development of Train Life, some things that we will be adding, we won't be adding, just generally questions about the game that have been asked in the past, and that also our lead game designer Joey has answered. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. And yeah, I think we're gonna move on to some games. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to let us know. We're gonna play the Train Life a little bit. And
I also see a question from Stewie 1983.
Yeah.
When's colorblind mode coming?
Okay, I know this. I know it.
I have a follow-up question for that actually.
Yes. What is it?
Or do we know that? Like, so what do you mean by colorblind mode? Which is like, there are two approaches to colorblind modes as far as I know. One is for if things are the same color for colorblind people, and especially if they matter, you add some more, like some other indicators of what's the difference. Like you add, I don't know, some different texture or some UI indicators. So sometimes I wouldn't even call it a colorblind mode. Like if there's like a specific issue, for example, there's like green and red lights and I cannot tell them apart. This might, apart from colorblind mode is one thing, but it might also require a UI fix.
Right.
That the information should be given on the UI as well, maybe. So there's like colorblind mode, like in Zuma games, basically the one with the frog where you shoot balls. Yeah, red and green can play snooker. So for example, a Zuma game has red and green balls, and it's important. So a colorblind mode adds like symbols to the balls. One has dots, and other has stripes, whatever. So there's this, and apparently, the Unreal Engine itself comes with a colorblind mode.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Which changes colors. Yeah. Like, for example, if you have a red-green color blindness, it might be the case that your perception of red and green overlaps to a high degree, so everything's the same-ish color. However, like, if you separate them enough and just use those extreme reds and extreme greens, the brain can tell it apart. That's how Enchroma glasses work, basically. They just cut down all the most confusing overlapping light and just leave most extreme ones. And the brain can adapt.
Wow.
And apparently the Unreal Engine seems to have it native.
Really?
Yeah, so we were like, oh, colorblind mode, sure, nice feature to have, but just, I mean, the schedule. But then we were like...
Is it just like a feature for the developer, or just to add it in the game, or like into like whatever?
Apparently it's like super easy to add. We would have to have it. We would have to add it to game options,
right?
For player to be able because like there are 5 color deficiencies to choose from.
Right. Yeah. There's a few.
So we would have to give the choice to the player, because like we have to choose how do we change the colors, but the implementation is native.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
If it's that, it should be easy. Also, not saying we're gonna do it right now, like everything's subject to the schedule and priorities.
Right.
But it might be way easier than we thought it would.
Right. Yeah, like I remember when the topic was first mentioned by the community, you know, I spoke with it to Joey, about it to Joey a little bit. And, you know, we really didn't know like how to implement it. It would have it maybe would have broken other things, like as happens in other game development projects. Like it may have like had some kind of influence on like other stuff that was happening, and we really didn't know. We were like we put it on the backlog for a little bit, and then it came up again, and then it came up again. And you know, if it's something that's really important to you guys, then we will try our best to implement it, because we want to cater to everyone to enjoy Train Life, right? Even like, you know, we want everyone to enjoy the game, if you're colorblind or not. So,
especially since if it's easy, then like
then like why not?
Why shouldn't we?
Right.
Yeah, but the question is like, what specifically do you mean by colorblind mode? Because there are ways to do that, at least 2 different ways, like adding shapes as well as colors, or changing colors. So
yeah, I think when I was playing the game on stream, maybe 2 streams ago, before we went on Christmas break, I noticed that there was some problems with like the arrow that points which track you should be on for the train station.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, for example, if it's like if there's something green behind or whatever, something brownish, and the
like something brownish,
also...
it like melds in with the background.
Yeah, I guess especially with like the most common type of color deficiency. Yeah, it's
because there's a few color deficiencies. There's like blue, red, like purple. Like,
there's few of them. Yeah. The red green is the most common one by far. By a ratio, I think like at least 5-1, maybe more, 10-1 or something.
Yeah.
But there are different ones. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Okay, so that's that. If you guys have any more questions, keep them coming. I'm gonna fire up the game here for a little bit. We're gonna go on a little bit of a train ride, Maciej. Hope you're excited.
I also see a question on Twitch. Is there expansion further into the UK?
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, it's further back.
Okay.
I don't think so. No, I'm afraid the map ends in London.
For now,
so
yes.
that's just this is the scope that was chosen in the beginning, to have a little bit of Britain, to have a little bit of France. I mean, half of France, more or less.
Right.
Half of Poland. It is incomplete. It's what we aimed for in the beginning, because there's no limit to the map you can add in Fury.
Right.
So we had that's the plan right now. So no, that's all of the UK we do for now.
Yeah, and I know that there was some people asking about like just general improvements to the map, such as like outlining the countries to like sort of build the immersion factor.
Oh yeah, no, the map for sure.
Yeah. I think, isn't that something that we're thinking about doing? Like, do you know anything about
it's
that?
Planned. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, map update for sure. It's planned with all the things you talk about. Sure. I believe map is U4 update 4.
Okay.
GPS is. I'm pretty sure map is as well. Update 4. Yeah, like I get 95% sure map is gonna update 4. So
awesome.
yes, although patience, because it's a huge overhaul, so we have to do them one at a time.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, the map, I mean, I personally, I like how the map looks like right now, and I'm about to show it in a second. But, you know, I got to do one, because I'm an idiot, and I totally forgot to set up this next scene. So, bear with me, guys. It's gonna look a little weird for a little bit, but you'll still be able to hear our beautiful voices, okay? So just bear with me for a second.
Do we have to distract the chat with, like, jokes or something?
I mean, yeah, you could try to distract them with jokes. Okay, there's the map.
Oh my god.
Do you have any jokes, Maciej?
I mean, I have to, like, I'm filtering out all the
naughty ones,
dirty ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Just try it, dude. You can do it. Maybe.
I have.
He's thinking. Maybe the chat. Maybe the
I
chat
remember
has
jokes that. Oh yeah, I have one. Yeah. I remembered. I heard some jokes that the guy was. Okay, whatever. This guy told those jokes that were super long.
Okay.
The broccoli joke.
The broccoli joke.
Do you know it? Do you want to hear a Polish person tell a English joke in English?
Yes, please, God. Yes.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
After you hear it, you can go to YouTube and find people who tell it.
Okay.
Better, but...
All right. Let's hear it.
So there is this old lady in a grocery store, and she comes up to an employee. An employee is stacking oranges in the grocery store in the produce department. The older lady approaches and like, "Excuse me, where can I find broccoli?" "Oh, broccoli. We're out of broccoli. You have to come back tomorrow, and we'll have broccoli." "Oh, thank you." The employee goes back to stacking oranges. Few minutes pass. The lady comes back. "Excuse me, I cannot find broccoli." Yes, as I've said, we are fresh out of broccoli, so you have to come back tomorrow." "Oh, thank you." Few more minutes pass. The lady comes back. "Excuse me, I cannot find the broccoli." The employee thinks for a while and being like, "Okay, lady, I have a request for you. Could you humor me? Just could you spell? Could you say dogmatic? Dog. Could you say dog as in dogmatic? Could you spell it for me? Just please." Lady goes like, "Sure, like D-O-G." "Okay, thank you. Could you spell cat as in catastrophic? C-A-T. Thank you. Now, could you spell fuck as in broccoli? There is no fucking broccoli. That's what I've been trying to tell you."
Okay, that was good. I like it. Okay.
I like the joke. Like, it has to be told in English. It's one of those. So yeah.
Some people in.
Have you managed to? Yeah, you've managed to set the game up in the background.
Yeah, I managed. It's good to go. We're ready to go. What is Yoda's favorite dinosaur? Doceratops? There is no try. I don't get it.
What?
You get it? Because I don't get it. I'm sorry, lady, do that. I don't get it.
What is Yoda's favorite dinosaur?
It flew over my head a little bit.
There is no try.
Do.
Yeah, I guess because because it should be like Triceratops, but it's tri. So instead, it's do.
Ser. How's that?
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. You shouldn't like do. There is no try.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. Okay. Got him. Unwell Gaming, will we be getting a rotating GPS while we drive the train? Let's see. Does the GPS rotate now? It does not. What do you think? What do you think, Maciej? Is that something that we could maybe add?
Come again? What do you mean?
A rotating GPS, like so it rotates as you rotate the camera, so you know.
Oh,
which,
I see. It's one of those. We have talked about this. It's one of those. I guess there's it depends. Like currently, what we have in the lower left is a minimap.
Right.
And minimaps usually don't rotate. Like GPS should. Like if you would have a GPS, it's like more of a first-person perspective. It usually is like always pointing forward, because
right.
I mean, I guess that's what you mean, right? That you should always be going toward the like up.
Yeah.
And the map should rotate accordingly. That would be like a GPS behavior. And we always, and what we have is a map. So,
oh, as you travel along the lines, not as you rotate the map. Because it does, like, it doesn't say anywhere. God, I missed my turn. See, this is your fault. Oh, but now, hold on. Apparently now I'm Maciej and you're Mike. Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh yeah.
Look at the stream.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
It happens.
Sometimes you just lose your identity just casually.
Yes.
Okay, we should be good now. Okay, I promise that's it. But yeah, we don't have an indication showing where is north.
This is true.
This is something that I think we should add. I mean,
I
don't know how impactful. Like, do you guys feel that knowing where north is on the minimap would help you while playing the game? That's a question for the community. What do you guys feel about that? It's a super minor change that I'm sure it will take like maybe an hour or something to fix or add. I'm not a developer or a designer or anything, but I mean it's the act of just like literally adding a letter on the map and just having it go.
Although it depends because it has to move around the edge depending on the map rotation.
That's true. That's true. So from a design perspective, Maciej, like how would that look like?
I mean, like design is super simple, right? You just you just stick an N when the north is and rotate it accordingly. That's it for the design,
right?
Pretty much. Although, like we are planning some changes to the like HUD in general,
right?
And we are considering things like, so having like a blocking signal indicator which tells you whether the track is free or not, to have it like on the edge of the minimap as well, where your track ends, so that is clear as to what it refers to. So we'll have to take that into account. So a Christmas decoration inside of a cabin. Nice. So we would have to take that into account, for example. So because maybe the N would, overlap with the blocking signal indicator. So we'd have to make sure as to how to do it and which one should be on top if we do both.
Right.
So as for implementation, it's not impossible. Sure, it's relatively easy in the end. Although, if it might be 2 hours, it might be 2 days.
Right.
If it's 2 hours, like maybe sure, why not? If it's 2 days,
probably not.
Like the update free is gonna be, it's gonna be a lot of work. So all of those things get postponed. So a lot of those minor features like seem easy to implement, but we just that short on man hours.
Yeah, I mean it's like, hey, just add an N, but then it's also like, hey, just like make a game, you know, like just
kinda. Some of those things are surprisingly tough.
Yeah, again,
it's not like a week. It might be a day, but still, maybe not. I don't know. Also, it's you have a lot of those little things. It's sure 1 hour here, 1 hour here, 1 hour here, but it adds up.
Right.
And at some point, like you have to decide which one of those you do and which don't. So you can sometimes arbitrarily some of those don't get done. And
yeah, I mean, there's something. I mean, it's just because, like you mentioned, right? Like I wanted to piggyback off that. Like all it adds up. Like, oh, just add this. Oh, just add that. Or maybe we could fix this. But then eventually, when you look at the end of the week, you have a giant list of things, like little things like this, maybe giant off screen like that. And it's like, oh, well, now a little 1 hour project or 2 hour project turned into like a 4-day thing or a week thing.
I would love, like, we'll see. We have schedules, we have deadlines.
Right.
I would love to have like 2 weeks or a month just to do quality of life.
Yeah.
And then we would have all the time for all those different features, but we'll see.
Right. We shall see.
Yeah, but for sure, I'm not saying like it's a bad idea or we don't want to do it. Like if we do something different, I guess only because we want to do something better. If we have an idea for that. But other than that, it's just a question of when, not a question of if.
Right, exactly. Unwell Gaming. So when I first played, I got confused switching the switches, as I didn't know if it's based on the way you're pointing on the map. I thought it was different, but once I was told differently, am I going the right way? I am. Differently, it came easy to me and no accidental wrong turns. Well, you see, the only way that you'll do accidental wrong turns is if you're me and you're streaming and you're talking with Maciej. I can't count how many times I've done that where I'm just like blah 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 blah. Oh no, that was my turn like half a mile ago. Like
Perfect. I'm being paid by your competition in game. Yeah. That's the multiplayer. We have it. We have multiplayer. This is multiplayer right here.
This is the multiplayer. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Maciej is my distraction.
Thank you. I'm doing my best. Yeah, but yeah, that's a good point of the left-right being somewhat confusing with a map. So like a map where you always drive up and like north is wherever it is, but you always drive up on the minimap, then it would make the left and right indicators more clear, which is a good argument, yeah. For doing like, if you would do both, then making the GPS approach be the default. So, with things like those, it's always like, I guess we would have to do a survey, because so some people are requesting, let's say, like requesting that we do a GPS style, so the map should rotate. Sure, how many people are happy with the current implementation? Because those are usually aren't like voicing like keep the current implementation. They're just quiet, and if we change it, they will be like, but why did you do it? I like the no, please no track up style. I'm happy. Yeah, so Ross good. So we would have to do a survey to see whether really we should change it, and like if we have the time, sure, just have a game option and allow the players to choose like whatever you prefer. Yeah, that would be the best in the end, sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about actually making doing a survey about upcoming changes, things that we have planned, but the Trello that we are working on to giving you guys access to will most likely answer those questions and scratch that itch to see what's next, what we're working on, so on and so forth. So
nice.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped. I'm pretty excited about the Trello, and I'm sure you guys are as well, or will be. We'll announce it. I think it'll be around update 2 time. So that's more or less when we're planning that.
And we have different people at stations at different times. It's workers, businessmen, tourists. Whew. It would be nice, but I'm afraid it's one of those, like, for sure, I don't know if you have it planned, but it would be nice, like, for in the middle of the night for there to be somewhat less people on the station, maybe, rather than like a full crowd at 3 a.m. On the other hand, there is this thing of the game is casual.
Right.
Like, we don't make the player schedule his or her routes around the clock at specific times. We don't do it. We want the player to be able to, do the routes at whatever pace they want. And if we have like time constraints, it's usually more lenient, like some penalty to experience or money. So actually making, okay, because if we would show less people during the night, should there also be less passengers to pick up, or should it be just passengers are there, it just you show less passengers? I think it would be weird to have a discrepancy between those.
Yeah.
So if we do that,
I mean, when it comes to like the immersion factor, right? Like the immersion factor of trying to live, because at the end of the day, this is a simulation game, right? So we want to, I mean, even though it might be a very open world type of casual simulation train game, we still want to keep that aspect for, oh my god, I'm not dead yet, a dead man switch. We do want to keep that aspect, prevalent for you guys, right? Like we want to, like, people play the game in different ways, right? Like, we see people with like super ultra, simulation setups, triple monitor, steering wheel, a train horn, Santa Claus in the back, like all the bells and whistles, right? But then at the same time, we also just see people with like simple setups that just want to play a simulation game every now and then. And we want to cater to both parties, right? We want to give both parties something that they could experience when they're playing our game, whether it's, less people at night because it drives the immersion factor for the simulation enthusiast, or something else, right? So,
but you can also see the design cascade, the issues cascade.
Yeah.
If we change this, then this requires changing, and this, and this, and at some point you have to choose. So one of the crucial decisions we made that complicates this feature specifically is the scale. The reduced scale of the world map, I think it's 10:1, like 20:1 or something. And time scale also is different, right? You don't have to play for 24 hours to pass in the game. It's like,
how many of you would want to play like that? If you needed to do a delivery in 7 hours, it would take you 7 hours to do one delivery. Does anyone want to play the game like that, actually?
At this point, you just earn a wage of the train driver.
You might as well just like get a train driver's like license at that point.
Yeah, and then play some other game, like while in the cabin, just drive trains and play.
Exactly.
Train life, actually. Drive trains while driving trains.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I think you can continue on that 20:1 scale, because that was a pretty interesting topic that you touched upon.
Yeah. So there's this. Like, so the consequence of this is okay. Not really. That's something of a different issue, because I'm thinking out loud here, as you can clearly hear. So no, the scale of the word doesn't really complicate this feature specifically, and the scale of time doesn't really. However, there's a decision to be made as to how do we play our game. So if we want to do a more realistic simulation for how it is to be a train driver, I mean, you wouldn't just decide 1 minute to create a route for these stations and transport some passengers. You would have to schedule, and I mean, I'm not sure how I guess it's done on national level usually, like train schedules. You would do a train schedules, then you will publish them, then the passengers will make decisions accordingly, choosing whether to travel by train, car, plane, whatever. So then you would have some passengers that bought tickets and are awaiting for trains at specific times on stations. And then so you would set a schedule, and then you would have to, go to certain stations at certain times, take passengers, make your route. If you would be late, passengers just would be, pissed off, whatever. You would have you could have gameplay regarding this.
Right.
So we could make a game like this. It's a proper game. It's a proper simulation game of what it's like to run a train company and also drive trains. But we're not. The game would be somewhat more stressful. You would have to make time. You can't be late. You have to pay attention.
Yeah, I think at that point it would just be more of like a time management sort of type of game. Like, you know how you have like that one hospital game, or it would be more of like a strategic game, I think, because you would have to plan.
You can have two games,
right?
Like it's like one game with scheduling and one game with driving trains. Like,
right.
It's often we have two games, right? We have
right.
the company management AI trains game, and then we have the driving trains game. We do have two games,
right?
And many games are consist of few smaller games.
Right.
But just it would be different games, right? It would be less casual. It would require more strategy, more thought.
Yeah.
You could maybe lose money if you made wrong schedules. If you arrived too late, you would lose money. You might lose the game, and so on and so on. It's a different game. It's not a game we're making. We're making a more casual game, just consciously.
We could make a game where, once you lose money, the game literally deletes itself from your computer, and you can never play it again.
And it sends an email to Steam that they remove Train Life from your library, and you have to purchase it again if you want to have another go.
Hey, talk about microtransactions.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good loop right there. No, God, imagine that practice. Imagine if a game company actually did something like that. Jesus.
Yeah.
I think
there was a game. Not really, but sort of. There was a game, Flock.
Okay.
An asymmetric horror game.
I heard about this game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, and they decided to they announced that the game tracked the amount of deaths, I believe, or games played, and it was announced that if the limit reaches 0, so enough games are played, the game will be removed from store, so you won't be able to purchase it anymore, and that the game will enter phase 2. I don't think. Yeah, so I guess some gameplay would change somehow and only the people who have bought the game already could play it, whatever. I guess we never found out what it was because the game just didn't sell.
Because that's a pretty hardcore selling point, man. Like, hey, yeah, because after some time the game will literally be deleted from the store, and no one will be able to. Like, there was also a game like a Diablo type asymmetric sort of type of game. It was a long time ago that it was released, but it was like a permanent death type of game, right? So like, if you died in it, you were not able to play the game anymore. Like, you were literally done. Like, you.
Okay, I thought it was like you're dead. Like, police comes in and drugs you.
You just get swatted. Like if
you signed the contract, you agreed to terms and conditions.
Jesus.
Yeah. No.
Oh man.
There was a Flash game. I don't remember the name, but you had only one chance to play it, which is it was a game about the apocalypse, and I think a virus of some sort started to kill everyone. So you had 1 week to make all the decisions, and you are a doctor who works on a cure,
right?
And you have to balance your family life, whatever, working. And the game's pretty sad, and also it's one time. So after you beat it, it saves some data in your registry or cookies, whatever.
Right.
So if you cannot restart the game. If you boot it again after you've beaten it, it's just the end screen again. You cannot reverse.
Oh man.
It's computers, right? You can reverse in the end, right?
You could do anything.
Somehow.
There's always got to be a way. There's got to be a way.
Because in the end it's just data. There's somewhere out there there's data you can change.
Or what we could do we could add some Train Life NFTs.
What do you mean could? We're doing that
We're
right
doing
now.
it right now.
Yes.
You guys want?
That's what.
You guys want some Train Life NFTs for like 20,000 a piece? Come on, it's a good investment.
I haven't really caught up on my reading of what exactly NFTs are. I just know that everyone's making fun of it.
So basically, I'm gonna learn you a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Maciej?
I do know it has to do with blockchain. It's some sort of like Bitcoin, but
Yeah.
turned to 11th, and basically you can create a new Bitcoin like that,
Yeah.
and then make people buy it.
So basically, what NFT stands for is non-fungible token, right? So like something that's like fungible is
Yeah.
like the dollar or like the Polish zloty, right? It's fungible, right? Like you could make more of it, right? You could earn it,
Okay.
and you could, you know, do stuff like that. An NFT is a non-fungible token, right? So it's like
See.
when you make something that's an NFT, like for example, there was I saw earlier today that
Okay.
that some game company, it was a pretty popular game, that they sold NFTs in their game and they made like $200,000 off of them. And the reason why I think people are hating on NFTs so much lately is because they literally add nothing into the game. Like they don't, like you spend a let's say like just as like let's just say a massive amount of money on something, which is an NFT, and it could be worth something in the future. It could be like a cosmetic or something like that, right? Like in a video game.
I see.
But it's like something that like other multiple people can own at the same time, right? So
Is it? But it's supposed to be non-fungible, right?
right.
So that there should be only one, right? So if you purchase I don't know, a dog DF like NFT, some dog EFT, you should be the only owner of that single NFT.
Yeah, and I think that's when like where the okay, never mind. I thought, wait, where am I going? Hold on, let me see. I'm going Saarbrücken Warehouse. Am I going the right way? Oh, this is my stop. Damn it! Why? It's your fault.
Distracted again.
Maciej, you had me start talking about NFTs, dude. Yeah. So
Hey fellas, want to hear about NFTs?
yeah. So like, I mean, like, see, that's where the problem lies in, right? It's like you have something that's supposedly unique, but other people can buy it too, and they could buy it and sell it, right? Like they could make money off of it, hypothetically.
So it is a bit like Bitcoin, right? Because
Sort-
the idea behind
yeah.
Bitcoin is always that also that you cannot create twice as much Bitcoin.
Right. There is a finite amount of Bitcoin in the world, and it will eventually end, right? So
Yes.
eventually,
Yeah, you cannot
right.
yeah, create more Bitcoin, or like,
Right.
even gold can be, you can dig more gold. Although it's hard, so like the supply of gold stays somewhat stable.
I mean, we would probably
amount of
have
gold.
to dig into the center of the earth for that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah, but dollars, for example, can be printed just like it's how much paper do you have and how many printers are running.
right.
So
$60 for a game, period. None of this BS changes for skins and other trinkets. I mean, look, I personally, I don't have any problems with buying things like cosmetic items and things that make your character look cool in a video game. If you have the money, spend it. Why not? It's another way to support the developer that you're playing. So like a good example, right? Like a good example for me would be like, okay, I put like 7,000 hours in World of Warcraft, like no cap, right? Like over 7,000. Hold on, first I have to station access, deliver.
Yeah.
Hold on, contract, 2 wagons. Deliver automatically. Okay.
Okay, let me see the radio panel.
Okay. So like for me, proceed to Saarbrücken Warehouse. That's where we're at, right? Yeah, that's where we're at. Okay.
Yeah, I had to take a look at the station communication panel because we're gonna gut it with a machete.
Good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
So for example, I put 7,000 hours into World of Warcraft, and I got my money's worth for that game, right? Like I bought it. I bought the base game. I bought the expansions, and I pay every month, right? So for the amount of time that I have put into that game, if we're talking like a price to a price to I don't want to say performance.
There's like price per hour.
Like a price,
right?
like a price per hour ratio on the amount of time that I've played the game, and I buy like a cosmetic or something for my character in World of Warcraft, then if you look at it from like that kind of perspective, I am getting my money's worth. I am just supporting the developers because they make a game that I enjoy, right? So like think of all the years and hours that you spent playing a game. If you buy a cosmetic, then you're basically just supporting your habit, right? Like a crackhead, it's basically. So
there's like
it's a pretty.
There is some, as a designer, I know some of the psychology behind those things. It's,
right.
I mean, the topic's kind of difficult because, free-to-play games specifically, like those are the main culprit for bad practices.
Right. Yeah.
And for making games that are not fun to play, but are compelling enough to make players pay for it.
Right.
I guess one of the issues with free-to-play is that if a game is free, more people will play it, and sometimes it seems that players don't say they don't like this model, but based on the data they do enjoy it. They do participate. Like whether they enjoy it is a different issue, but they do participate. So for many developers it's a hard choice because the community tells them one thing but does something different. And the different thing brings the money in. So it's very hard for some games. Like some games have managed to do microtransactions that aren't detrimental to the gameplay and be able to finance the company through those microtransactions, and it's very few companies. It's hard to do.
Gamers these days are just way more demanding. They're very. I think they're more demanding than like any other critic for any other thing. Like, because maybe it's because we're working in the game industry and we play video games and we're like, we like stay up to date with like news and stuff like that, and we see all the stuff that's happening and what gamers are doing, like review bombing and like, not even gamers only review bomb. Other people review bomb too, but it's gotten to the point where it's like affecting people's lives and stuff, and I'm talking about like criticism that's like good for the developer. I'm not talking about criticism like sending death threats for a game that they made, that turned out bad, right? Like
that's not just games.
Yeah.
Also, people do review bombing on movies. I think also like review bombing on movies is more prevalent and like more in spotlight. With games,
is it?
I don't think.
I think it's with games, to be honest. Like I honestly, like, just like off the stuff that I experienced or that I saw. I don't know, Battle 2040 or like Battlefield 2042, Cyberpunk. Like all of these. Also, I don't know if you heard about the tabletop simulator situation.
No.
Did you hear about that? It has something to do with the chat in the game being super homophobic and the developers not doing anything about it. And
what do you mean chat? But is it like, do you play with random people from the internet?
Yeah. You play with random people from the internet, and then there's like a chat, right? And then the chat turned out to be really toxic, and the developers weren't doing anything about it. So then they started to review bomb the game, and it turned out to be really bad for them. So,
okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, because because Cyberpunk. Okay, yeah, because Cyberpunk got some reviews due to performance, right?
Yeah, just everything. It was performance was probably, I think, the major one. But
because if a game is bad, then it's not review bombing; it's just bad reviews.
True.
But yeah, if you give a game a lower review than it deserves, like even by your standards, because you want to make a point.
Right.
And you would put pressure on the that would be review.
Or you go ahead and listen to some influencer that tells you to do it. and then
Still,
everyone.
if you put a review to put pressure on the developer rather than just having it be a review, then yes, it's
Yeah.
Is it more in games? I don't know. I feel like movies for sure. It
I
happens.
don't
like
think
even
I've. I'm pretty sure it does happen, but I personally haven't experienced it that much. Like I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I've heard like about recently some movies where I mean it happens to a degree that some review sites like Rotten Tomatoes have implemented some measures to try to counteract to fight it, like whether it's a complicated issue of whether it's a good idea to fight it and whether the measures are are a good idea.
I mean, look at what YouTube did just not too long ago. I mean, that is like another perfect example, right? They removed the dislike button, and and because of that, there was people that made like I will get my fuel, Easy Rider. I'll get it. Okay, I promise. But yeah, I mean, because of YouTube removing the dislike button, it all of a sudden turned everything upside down, and people were like, "Why the hell did you do that?" And then they started to develop extensions for your browser to show
I have it.
You have it?
I have return
nice.
of the YouTube dislike, of course. That's, immediately after they removed it.
Yeah. So see, there you go. And is it good? Is it good?
It works. It seems to.
Because I heard it was like giving you an estimate. It wasn't like exactly to the point, but it was like an estimate.
Maybe I'm not sure. I felt that maybe because I also seen the dislikes on the videos with pretty like low dislike amount.
Yeah.
So I felt that maybe it was the case that it was clearly a management decision that the programmers didn't agree with. So coders just, have hidden the value but left the value there to be accessed through the API by extensions.
Right.
So maybe the developers just, they allowed for the extensions to be made. Maybe. I don't know. This is pure guesswork.
Right.
Maybe the management found about it. Maybe they made some changes, so maybe the extensions now do estimates. I don't know. You could do an estimate, I guess. Compare the number of likes to the number of views, and assume the amount of dislikes. But then again, if dislikes are not displayed by default, how many people will stop giving them?
True.
I don't know.
Because the dislike button is still there. Right.
Yes.
But you just doesn't show you how many, right?
Yeah, you can see it in YouTube Studio. Like the creator can see it in YouTube Studio.
Yeah. The creator can see it, but the public cannot. I think Cyberpunk flopped because everyone pushed for the release, be it investors, Sony or Microsoft, as it was to be the next big gen game. They basically promised more than. Yeah, I mean they bit off more than they could chew, right? And the expectations.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, literally, their own marketing shot them. They dug their own grave with their own marketing team. It's. I mean, now the game is better supposedly, right? Because they added a bunch of stuff, they fixed a bunch of stuff, and apparently it's better. But going back to like November 2020, it was a disaster, a complete disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with Battlefield 2042. It says it has 80,000 negative reviews. Yeah. It's one of the most negatively reviewed game on Steam's right now. On Steam's, like there's multiple, but
it's super interesting about games. Like expectations matter so much.
Yeah.
One of the highest rated games ever on Steam are just anime visual novels.
Really?
Yes, because as a genre.
Right.
Because that's a kind of game that clearly tells you what it is.
Right.
So if you're not a fan of anime visual novels, you're not gonna play it.
Right.
So, like, if you play it, you're gonna like it. So I guess that as a genre, I feel that's the biggest one. However, but then the games that get the most positive reviews are the games that were surprises.
Yeah.
Games that no one expected, and they were awesome, and they get overwhelming positive reviews on Steam, 95% or more. Positive reviews. The game that have lowest reviews, except for like shovelware games that were just not even games that were wherever, for whatever reason, published on Steam but shouldn't.
Maciej, since we're because we're gonna wrap up here in a little bit. Since we're in the service center,
screen,
can you maybe tell us a little bit about Service Center?
Service Center. I can tell you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Just give us a little taste, like a little bit, like that much.
Oh yeah, because you have the old Service Center.
Yeah,
right?
I have the old one. I don't have the version you guys are working on.
So so I have a new version of Service Center when I play my game in Unreal Engine and at work, and Joey has been working that with our UI with Mateusz, our UI artist. But you know, what can I say? A locomotive can be seen at it's basically a UI change. Nothing has really changed in terms of how the Service Center works. You can still reverse the train, you can still repair the train,
right?
You can still upgrade by locomotives and so on. What's different? The locomotive can be seen all the time.
Oh,
that was one of
that's good.
The design principles for it. So
yeah, because right now we just have like this big block and it just blocks everything. But yeah, so if we were able to see it all the time, I think that's a pretty good change.
Yeah, pretty much what happens is, so the menu you have on the left, the categories,
yeah,
like of things you can do, this has been moved to the top.
Okay.
And it's displayed with icons.
Okay.
So that's what happened. So that's one thing, and then usually like all the specific options, like here on the screen you have like fixed 10% or fix all. This has been moved to the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
And so the middle is there's no UI in the middle, and so we can always see the locomotive. That's roughly basically it.
Okay.
As far as I know.
And I don't know, can you let us know about because I know this was something that was basically asked for since like day one of launch of the EA, but the changes that the accessories make to your train, are we going to be able to see those changes or?
I don't. How does it work?
Okay, so right now, so right now we have upgrades right here, and so let's just say I want to buy this. I buy it, and it's automatically applied. Nothing really changes.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's done. Yeah, I think there are some bars, and they are. I'm pretty sure there's some indicators. I think the change was implemented about a month ago in our internal builds. So
okay.
I kind of got used to it and just don't remember the basic stuff. But I think that has been added, yes.
Fantastic.
I give you like 80% sure.
Okay.
This has been done.
Cool, because I know that will be highly accepted if that's what the changes
for sure also like whenever you choose locomotives or purchase locomotives, they're like the photos of locomotives, like the same ones you have in the tablet, instead of just names of locomotives. So like a little bit more visuals in the menu.
It's gonna look more sleek.
Basically, yes, more coherent.
Can we change the colors of the locos? That's more of a customization thing that I don't think we're having planned anytime soon.
Yeah,
but I could see it being added, like maybe when the full game is released. I mean, no confirmation, nothing like that. But
yeah, for design, I think the world ends at update 3.
Yeah.
After that is gonna be a new world, and we're gonna either be very happy or working a lot to fix the issues. But I mean, the design I think is waiting for update 3, which is gonna have station gameplay overhaul, which is huge.
Yeah.
Which is because that's what currently what do you have to do with the game to take contracts? You have to use station panel communication, right?
Yep.
And click like no more. No.
So there's gonna be no more of pressing A on the keyboard and choosing our destination?
It's gonna be there, like it's planned. I mean, okay, everything I tell you right now, also grain of salt,
right? Because
subject to change, implementation issues,
right?
Whatever, many things can change. However, like what we have right now is the station communication panel is there, but it's very it's just station access. We plan to have some voiceovers. So that's the reason to leave the station panel in, to have some voiceovers, to contact the station, and actually, if you're in Germany, you're gonna hear some German voice telling you in
Nice.
German.
That's awesome. Wow, that's cool.
So yeah, so that was the reason to leave it in, and I think it has just 3 options. It's gonna have 3 options, which is apart from choosing the station, which are gonna be sorted by distance.
Right.
And yeah, so you can request station access, which is automatically gonna do all the other things for you, like set delivery tracks, whatever. Like when you approach a passenger station, you're not gonna you won't have to tell them that you want to board passengers.
Right.
Like obviously, that's
Right.
what you do
That's
at
what-
passenger station.
As you do, right? As you
Yeah.
do.
So station access means all the things as well. So this you will be able to have station info, pretty much the same as it is right now. And the third is you will be able to open the station panel, which is just a shortcut for, instead of going through the tablet, you can go to the station panel from there. And the station panel is a new thing we're doing for the tablet, which has all the contracts or the deliveries for the station, and then you can click those contracts, take them, reserve them. That's the plan. You're gonna do a lot more planning using the tablet, and then just execute it when driving.
Sounds freaking awesome. Sounds awesome. Super excited for these updates, and I'm sure you guys are as well. When's the smoke coming for diesel engines and more engine noises? You want the engines to go burr. Is that what I'm understanding correctly?
Engine noises, I think, have been changed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to ask
remember.
Greg. We'll have to ask Greg for that. Yeah, that's something that
It might be the case that update 2 will have them, have different engine sounds. I'm pretty sure we changed someone like a few weeks ago. So it might be the case that this is coming with update 2. Not sure. But smoke coming of for diesel engines, huh?
Yeah, I don't think we have any smoke physics besides fog. I mean, it's just, I don't think it's a physic, but
yeah,
yeah, that would be interesting, don't you think, to add some smoke for the diesel trains?
I mean, okay, it's a nice idea. I don't know if we have it planned, maybe not, but we'll have to look into that because maybe Unreal Engine has some native smoke implementation.
Right.
So we'll have to look into that. If not, it's one of those things like nice to have. However, like update 5 maybe. Like update 5 isn't on the roadmap, right? So
update 69. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
Nice.
So it's like, yeah, it's in the future. Like,
yeah,
nice to have if we can have it. Mitch X666 asks a question that Joey would like very much.
Do you plan
any steam locomotives? Joey would just, yeah. Joey's working with that, actually. Working on the design. That's what I can...
Very
I
nice.
think I can say that. And I will stop there.
Stop it.
Joey, I was like... Last week, Joey was doing research, like watching like steam locomotives and whatnot.
Yeah.
Sounds they make. How should it operate? Like, how do the internals work? So,
yeah, steam locomotives, I mean, we don't use them in our reality anymore, right? We don't, like, as a society, do we use
a little bit?
We do a little bit.
I mean, in terms of technology, not really. Like, if we make new locomotives, we don't do steam anymore.
Right.
However, some of the older ones still are in service, although more like,
more of like a tourist type
historical
of thing.
routes.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So probably, yeah. But you can ride a train that's powered by a steam locomotive. Like it's still possible.
Cool.
I think there's a route in France.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll be able to ride in one.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream as much as we enjoy streaming it for you. I really appreciate we really appreciate all of the questions that you guys have asked today. If you have any more, if you weren't able to answer or to ask us a question during the stream, feel free to do so. Follow us on Twitter, Discord, Facebook, everywhere. So you can follow us, interact, and also Train Life Game on Twitter. We stream every Monday 7 p.m. Central European Time on Twitch, on Facebook. No, not on Facebook. On YouTube and on Steam. So catch us at the same time, same place, every Monday. Next Monday, hopefully I'm going to have another guest. Maybe someone that has been on the show. Maybe someone that hasn't been on the show. And yeah, we're there for you guys. Keep you updated. Thank you so much once again for watching. Maciej, thank you so much. You've been great, man. You've been a real you have done a real service today for the community. And we are also forever grateful for that. So
pleasure. Thank you as well.
Have a great night, everybody. And have a great night. Thank you, Maciej. Bye-bye.
Eat some broccoli. Broccoli is good for you.
Broccoli is good for you guys.